All right, so yeah, we're about to get started. The warm-up is going to be 10 different exercises at 30 seconds apiece with no rest in between, but you're welcome to take the rest that you need. Also, I incorporated a chair just for people who might require something a little bit less intense when we do hand support, like plank-like positions and stuff, but it's totally optional because you could elevate your hands on anything. It doesn't have to be a chair. Otherwise, it's a no equipment workout. So if there's anything that anybody wants to input into this, let me know. If there's any injuries that we're working with, maybe. And there's plenty of options. Everybody signed up knows that I always put plenty of options, but if you feel like that there's something in particular you need to focus on, you just let me know. All right, so we're gonna get started. Really super simple stuff. And my really loud phone is going to tell you when we're starting and stopping, and super easy. So we're gonna march. We're marching. That's it, nothing too fancy. I like to march in different areas because I get bored in the same spot. The exercise after this is just doing some nice big arm circles, okay? Just to get you prepared for what's next. So marching can be done quickly, it can be done slowly. And you don't have to lift your knees too high yet. We'll be doing plenty of that stuff. So then we'll get started on the arm circles. We'll do backwards first. Just keep your arms super loose. They don't have to be straight. And then we'll switch it around, doing forwards. If one of your arms doesn't cooperate too well, just do a smaller range of motion. Okay, you don't have to be doing big movements yet or ever. After this, we're going to get down into a plank and do a version of mountain climbers, but it's going to be gentle. It's going to be marching. So if you need less support on your hands or something that's less challenging, you can take your hands up on something. Hopefully something that will support you. Keep going because I got to see what's next. Okay. So in 10 seconds, we're going to stand up again. We're going to do some crisscross work. I'll show you. You keep going. Then you stand up. So we're just going to 1, 2, 3, and touch the opposite leg. 2, 3. Touch the opposite leg. It's going to be the same leg, and then we're going to switch. Okay, so now let's go 1, 2, 3. Touch the opposite leg. 2, 3, 4. Just doing the same one 3 times. And we'll do little arm circles now. These things. These can get pretty brutal at the end of a workout, so they may or may not get incorporated at some point. Whatever direction you're going in, we're going to switch the other direction right now. And I'm already warming up a little bit, so maybe you are too, maybe not. Next thing we have is we're going to do torso turns. I'll show you what that means. You'll take your hand, 1, 2, 3, and then if you want, knee to elbow or knee to thigh. 2, 1, 2, on the third one. So now we're crisscrossing each time. Don't worry, the crisscross stuff is getting to you. It happens to me. See, I just did the same one twice because can't multitask apparently. We're going to do slow high knees on the next one. So you can go back to marching, or you can do little baby, like, you know, you've got like honey stuck to your feet. You're doing your best to pick up your feet, but you're not in a rush. All right, so for this next one, you keep going. You're gonna come down to the floor and lift up and try to stand up. You might need support for that. You're gonna come down to the floor. You don't have to lift up high. You can use your hands. You can put your hands back behind you to get up. It's very common that people have to do that. And then wide feet can be very helpful to get you to stand up. So just do the best you can for those. And we just have 2 more things after that. Yep. So just do what you can. Don't worry about those too much. And then cactus arms. And we're going to press in the elbows and the hands. And come out. Inhale. And then exhale. Press in. Inhale, open. Exhale, press. So you're really trying to push your hands and your inner elbows together. Squishing an imaginary ball of Play-Doh in between your hands. Forearm plank is the last bit here. So come down and you can take your knees down or one knee perhaps. And you'll just pause. You can have your hands together or apart. Try to keep your hands on the ground instead of just your elbows. And then tuck your chin in. Let your head be at the height of your shoulders instead of hanging down. Keep breathing. And there we go. There's the warm-up. All right, so we have our HIIT workout next. I figured we'd do that first because that's usually what I look forward to the least. And we're going to do 40 on and 20 off. Sometimes I think having a little extra rest time, doing a half of your workout, I think it allows you to go a little bit more all out because the idea is to get your heart rate down a little between sets, not to, that's the whole point of it. Otherwise, we could just run on a treadmill for 15 minutes. So, this is going to go on 15 sets. And the first 5 are going to be relatively simple. And then the following 5 will be like more complicated versions of those first 5. And then the last 5 will be kind of fun, interesting. I think, hope it'll be fun and interesting for you anyway. So once this clock says 12:07, we will start. 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. Take more time if you need to, okay? But taking less time, like I said, defeats the purpose of like getting your heart rate up and down. So I don't know who would be taking less time because even I don't like that. So high knees is the first one. And then we'll be doing squats with pulses. And we'll be doing calf raises, which is why I have my block. Because when I do my calf raises, I'm just going to have my heels hanging off something, okay? So let's get started. High knees first. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to march because high knees actually hurts my ankles a little bit, but otherwise you can do this. But to me, that kind of impact isn't great right now. So I'm going to do some marching, and you're welcome to make it more intense. After this, we have a 20-second rest and squat pulses. So maybe I'll incorporate a little bit. So you can always find the version that you need most. Okay, so we have 20 seconds to rest. When we do squats and the squat pulses, I'm going to suggest that we go into a second position, a wide squat. Okay. Now you can just hold the squat if you want, or you can pulse at your lowest point. So I'm going to just take my arms forward and pulse. And it's really important that you have a nice little curl to your tailbone, but not so much that you've got no core support. So find the happy medium between a little curl and a little lift of your abdominals. So you can squat at a higher place in your, you can pulse at a higher place in your squat. You can go lower, totally up to you. Just keep breathing, whatever you're doing. And try to keep your weight in your heels, and maybe the insides of your feet a little more than the outsides. Look at that, already done. Okay. Then we have those calf raises. So again, this isn't exactly these activities aren't the most cardio based for the first 5, but then there'll be more. So trust me on this one. Okay, ready? Here we go. So when I do this, I do it with my heels together, my toes slightly apart, and I make sure that my ribs, my belly, stay lifted up every time my heels lift. Otherwise, you get that thrusting of the ribs forward, and we want to avoid that. You can squeeze your glutes during this if you want. And depending on how you feel, I would like to do some fast calf raises for the last 10 seconds. I'll show you how that works. 1, 2, I don't go all the way down. I just pulse at the highest point. Not even counting. There we go. Okay. So on this next one, we have mountain climbers, which you're welcome to do as mountain marching or with your hands up on a higher surface. Okay, so we come to plank, and we're just going to go at I would say a moderate pace, because you do need to save some energy. Here we go, and if you want to go back to marching, you can at any time, and then try to abstain from rounding your upper back too much. You can even have a slight bend in your elbows, so you incorporate your arm muscles. We are more than halfway there. And you're going to stay down on the ground for your next exercise. We're going to do plank to push-up. Essentially, it's forearm push-up to hand push-up. You'll lead with one side up and down, and then you'll lead with the other side up and down. You can do this on your knees. In fact, I recommend that. Left, right, left, right. Right, left, right, left. The idea is not to do these so fast that your form suffers. So if you'll notice, while my hips twist a little bit, I don't have a saggy belly and low back. I might have a saggy belly, but I'm squeezing it up and in so I don't have an unsupported spine. We're almost there. Then you're going to stand up. Here we go. Such fun. All right, so we're going to do high knees with an extra hop. Super simple. Every third one, we'll do an extra hop. I'm going to march to do this again. Here we go. So 1, 2, 3, hop. 1, 2, 3, hop. So we're doing it on 3. So it's a different leg every time. And make sure it's a different leg every time. You can do these much faster, but I'm saving my ankles, particularly my right one. Try to breathe through your nose every opportunity you get. Oops, I just messed that one up. Okay. After this, we have squats again, except every 5 pulses, we're going to do a little jump. Super fun. It's good. All right, I'll show you. So down to the squat. Ready. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you want to jump, but not as frequently, do it every 7 or 9 or 10. Just take more time in between, right? 1, 2, 3. So the next exercise, we're also going to be in the squat shape to do our calf raises. We're almost there. And guess what? That means Once we hit the middle of this exercise, we're halfway through the hip. All right, so back into your wide second position, okay? And unstable ankles, you should do one at a time. Also, you can do the hips and heels rise, or you can do just the heels rise. Keeping my arms contained, but my shoulders, pulled back a little bit, so I still have a semblance of posture. Yes, those are my ankles you're listening to. Try to look forward. After this, we come down to the ground to do a version of mountain climbers. We're marching. Fantastic. All right. So come down. You can do mountain climbers, and you're going to move your feet left and right, or you can just march and move the feet left and right. Have your hands up if you need a little bit less work and more, focus on your form. Form is important, says the ex-gymnastics coach. So you can just keep your feet moving side to side. And again, try to look at least a couple of feet ahead or so of your hands. Okay. After this, we have push-ups with a shoulder tap. I'll show you how that goes, but not yet. Okay. So you don't have to push up, you can just do the shoulder tap. Otherwise, do a push-up, and then we'll go tap, tap. Lead with a different hand each time. We'll call it out. Knees down is fine. Okay? Right, left. Left, right. Right, left. Left, right. We're halfway there. I'm going to take a little break and hold the plank and just do some shoulder taps. My breathing's getting a little weird. Okay, down, left, right. I'm going to fit in one more. Right, left. And I'm just going to hold the plank. All right. We have side lunges now. Side lunges. So it's like this. Then step. Okay, I'm going to need more room, but here we go. Step to your left and go 1, 2, 3. Step in and out. 1, 2, 3. If you want to be faster, you can. 2, 3. Or you can just do 1, because this is what's next. So I'm giving you a little sneak preview. One, two, three. One. Yay, okay. Now we're gonna do that little hopping side lunge. I'll show you 2 different angles. I already showed you one, but I'll show it again. So you can do a little chassé in the middle, or you can just step. Okay, so hop here, hop here. Now I'm gonna do this way, so you can see how far my hips go back, and also because it gives me more room. I like to exhale when I lunge and inhale on the in-between. I feel like Grover. Near, far, near, far. Next is a version of mountain climbers that combine with a push-up. Oh, only 3 more exercises. Hooray. Okay, so you're gonna do 5 or more mountain climbers and then a push-up. Keep your leg up. So it's got to be an odd number. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Push up. 1, 2, 4, 5. Push up. Push up. Skip whatever doesn't work for you. Push up. Ooh. Push up. Oh boy. All right. We have candlesticks. You know these things. So if all you can do is come up to here, and that's all you do. Otherwise, you're going to try to stand up on both feet. Bonus, stand up on your right foot only. Like this. Maybe. It's particularly hard on me because of my ankle that I sprained earlier, but it's good if I do it slow. Good for rehab. We're doing another set of these to close out. You may choose to just do a different exercise that's easier physically, but still challenging cardiovascularly. All right, last one, hit. So either do both feet or your left foot if you did your right foot last time. Breathe. So close. 40 seconds. We can do it. Ooh. Left side is the knee, right side is the ankle. What are you gonna do? It's not about, everybody talks about, oh, it's because, you know, you get old, your body falls apart. Not necessarily. Just the longer you live and the more you exercise, the more chance there is to injure yourself. That's all. You don't have to fall apart just because you're getting old. I don't subscribe to that theory anyway. Last one. Hey. Oh, I'm sure you did fantastically. We're gonna get a 2-minute break for water and whatnot. And we're gonna do abs. So we're keeping it at 40 seconds, but we're only giving ourselves 15 seconds for the break this time. So there's that. There will be 9 exercises. And opportunities to, once we hit the 6th exercise, I will give you the opportunity on your 7 to either do what's prescribed or to take a rest. Of course, you can rest anytime, but sometimes us silly humans have this idea that we, in an environment like this, we need permission to rest. So, I'm a silly human too. Sometimes I feel alien. Okay, we got about 30 seconds left. So do what you need to do. If you want to use a mat on the floor, you can. My rug is perfectly fine for me. Let me show you the first 2 exercises. The third one is borrowed from yoga, and so some of you might be more familiar. The first exercise is called cross crunches. So you lie flat, and you're going to do left arm to right knee, or you do the other side, right arm to left. You could do a straight leg. Okay, and then the one after that is called lemon squeezers, which you can do with hand support or your feet on the floor, sliding or not. Okay, all right, enough demonstrating. I need to save my energy. Oh, there's only 9 sets. Huh, I still had set for 15. All righty, we're gonna get moving here. We'll be done as promised in 35 minutes or less. You can go about your day or stick around for some yoga stretch. All right, here we go. Cross crunches, lie flat. Right hand, left leg. And then notice as I come up, my other hand is giving me some support. You can bend your leg. Mine is bending a little bit. So my low spine has a little movement. And you can lie down as long as you want between, especially if you're still recovering from your HIIT. Ooh, fantastic. Remember, we only get 10 seconds to rest. All right. Oh, sorry, we get 15 instead of 20. That's what I meant. All right, so we've got lemon squeezers. You can have your hands down. Here we go. Hands down, feet down. Grab your knees at the top maybe. The lower your legs are in between the squeezing of the lemon, the harder it is for a lot of people. We're halfway there. You're doing just fine. After this, we're going to flip around and get into a down dog position. Squeeze your knees together if you can. Try to do 3 more if you can. All right, down dog to plank, twist to side plank. Maybe it sounds complicated, it's not, I swear. Super duper easy. So down dog, bend, come forward to plank, turn to the right, pick up your hand if you want. Back, we're doing 2 sets of these, FYI. So the next set is also one of these. You may choose to take the 15-second rest in between or not. You do not have to pick up your hand. You can just twist your toes and get in some nice oblique work, which we are doing more of later, FYI. Like I said, you can choose to pause here, or you can be crazy like me and keep going. But otherwise, the timer will tell you. You can do your second set right now. After this, we've got forearm plank dips. Such fun. Forearm planks can sometimes be bothersome, in which case you want to elevate your forearm. That can help take pressure off your joints and your upper body. I'm going to do one more of these on each side, and then I'm going to come up and show you what I mean, or get ready to. You could do your forearm plank up on something. I can take pressure off of you, make it easier. But here we are on our left side. You can have your knees down if you need to. You're going to dip, dip, okay, dip. I recommend staggered feet if you're doing legs straight, so you have to worry less about balance and more about getting in more dips. Try to keep this in your belly and not your back. Oh boy. We have to do these on the other side too. Can't wait. Try to get in 2 more if you can. Okay, then we have side 2. Then you get an option to rest or we're gonna go into like a Superman position. So your choice after this. Right side. On your knees is very appropriate for a lot of people. Sometimes even me, some days. Remember, you want to use your core, sides in front of your body, not sides and spine or back of your body. Inhale, coming down. Exhale, coming up. I don't know which time we have. Sometimes it's better that way. I bet we get one more. All right. So this could be where you rest up for the last two exercises, or you come to a Superman shape. It's one of my favorite ones to do. So you start with your elbows in. I'm going to kick the table. Elbows in and legs apart, and then stretch legs together. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Point your toes if you can. Just gets different muscles involved. And lock those legs out as straight as you can. And try to squeeze your feet together. 10 seconds. Okay. Last two exercises can be done with bent legs. Okay. You do what's called a hollow hold. You have your head down or up, arms forward. Stretch your legs out to any length. Okay. Want to do flutter legs? Something to keep you amused. But remember, you can always have your hands or head down, legs bent or not. Breathe. Try not to clench your jaw. We're almost there. After this, we have forearm plank rolls. It's the last thing. 3, 2, 1. Okay. It goes a little something like this. Get on your forearms. Hands together if you can. Feet can be turned under or flat. We're just going to roll up and then down. If you have the juice to lift up your knees, wait until you get to this nice plank, flat back position and then lift, okay? If you're lifting from here, guess what? That's called low spine workout, and that's not a thing. So you want to wait till you really feel like your belly is hollowed out and you could hold a teacup on your low spine without spilling it. The teacup has to have tea in it. There we go. Oh, that was splendiferous. And it was almost exactly 30 minutes as planned. So there's a stretch portion here. And whether you're watching this live or not, you can skip it, do your own thing. But after an intense workout, I do at least recommend that you sit or lie still for a couple of minutes just to let your body integrate itself in a nice neutral shape. You don't want to go from a workout of any kind and then go right into like text asana. You know, you want to go into a shape that's neutral, relaxed, with your spine nice and aligned. So the first stretch is going to have to do with our thighs, because we did some squatting and stuff in the beginning, didn't we? So let your knees fall over to your right and then pull your left heel towards your buttocks. They may not touch, it's fine. And then if you come here and you want to coax more sensation, then just pull the knee back, but be careful of your knee and hip, okay? Remember that your joints, in this case knee, hip, and ankle, and your spine, they are your bosses. If they start to hurt, sharp pains, anything clicking, popping, then you need to back off because you do not want to have to replace hips or knees. Muscles heal much faster. Okay, and then that's the left side. So just pull the knees together. Knees go to the left, and then your right knee might come forward. You could also stand up and just do these stretches, pulling the heel. So the heel might touch your bum, it might not. And then depending on what you're feeling, if you want more, sometimes less is more. Spending more time in a place of moderate strain is more beneficial than a quick, super painful stretch. I'm gonna spend a little more time on my right side because it definitely has more to say. And then we're gonna pull our feet together in this butterfly shape. Now, depending on your hips, if your knees are super high and that's where they've been for years, I recommend pulling your feet further apart. You can come forward and then your hips get a little bit more space. And then, so do your spine. So you can stretch yourself forward and you can try to pull your nose and your chin towards your big toes. And then I'm using the leverage to draw my chest forward. What I'm trying to avoid is the hunchback shape. And if you want, you can use your elbows to push one or both of your knees down. Just, I would be very aware of what the outer knees feel like here. Okay. Fantastic. Now let's get the outside of our hips. So in order to do that, I think most effectively is to lie on our back, cross the right leg over the left. If you can't cross high, just cross as best as you can. Pull the knees in. For those of you with a little more mobility and familiarity with the yoga pose, you could come to your Gomukhasana shape with your legs less bent. Keep your shoulders down. If you have to lift your head and neck to grab your feet, you probably should just drop your head and neck and grab your legs instead. Breathe here and feel free to wiggle side to side. All right, how about side two? Stretch your legs out, maybe a little shake, and then left leg over right. And then be acutely aware if one of your outer hips is desperately in need of the stretch more than the other. And then maybe linger on that side. For me, it's this side. If you're still breathing heavy, try to use your nose as much as you can. And don't rush the exhale. Let the exhale come out fully. If you just push through that for about 5 to 6 breaths, you will find that your breathing comes to normal pretty quickly. Okay, nice. Now what about our arms? We did do some arm work. So I'm glad you asked. We will do lifting of the right arm, grab with your left hand by the elbow, and you can either side stretch to the other side, kind of look up towards that elbow, or you can grab your wrist if the elbow is unattainable at this moment. Try to keep it so your head isn't locked down by your arm. And then we'll do side two. So I just got my legs in any old position. You can do whatever you like. Grabbing the elbow or the wrist. Okay, fantastic. All right, let's do 2 more stretches. One for the front of the shoulders. Okay, left hand on top. Okay, and then what you want to make sure of is that your palms face out and that your shoulders don't roll forward. The second your shoulders roll forward, take your hands down. So we're going to walk our hands up our back with the left hand leading the way. And then again, the second your shoulders want to do this, you're going to drop your arms and try to keep your shoulders from rolling forward. The more you press the backs of your hands into your spine, generally the more sensation you will receive. Take 3 deep breaths, let them out all the way. All right, let's switch. So the hand on top is always going to be the one that's stretching more intensely. So now it's the right arm. So if your right shoulder's ever had an injury, or if you're right dominant, this could be more intense. So again, try to keep your shoulders outside of your body and not in front. Just try. And then little walks up the spine. Press your hands into your back. Once you get to your happy place, 3 conscious breaths. Good. All right, last stretch here. We're going to try to stretch out our belly a little bit. This is where a chair can come in quite handy. You're going to kneel. Knees don't have to be together, but they could be. So this stretches your chest, front of your shoulders, your belly, and your thighs. It's like doing camel pose if you're familiar with that, but without the strain on your back, okay? So you can do it this way. Big breath into your belly. You can also do it with one side. Over. Remember those forearm dips, right? You could feel them on this stretch. That was good. And if you have the mobility, you can reach back a little bit lower, but be careful, okay? You want to have your hips back, not pushed forward, and your belly needs support for 3, 2, and 1. Belly in and up, and there you go. There's your workout for the day. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and if your body starts to feel sore, you can hark back to those particular stretches that we did, okay? And if you're not subscribed already, and you didn't already like this video, subscribe and like. And also, I and many other fitness professionals have been out of work mostly entirely since March. So if you have the means to do so, donation information is down below in the description, and any amount is appreciated, trust me. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your day, week, and life if I never see you again, because you never know.